What is up, YouTube? It's Metatronix. I know it's been a while since I put up an emblem, and I wanted to give you guys a little something to whet the appetite, and something so that you guys could advertise being part of the Meta Army. I've had a few people ask me for this one, and so I figured I'm about to get back into the swing of things, give you some more emblems, but this one is just for you guys. So I'm starting with the M, and I'm using the pyramid shapes and some rectangles. The pyramids, I have two pointing up and one pointing down. The one pointing down is obviously smaller, and the ones pointing up, they're lined right in the center with the middle line of the grid when you're in the emblem going almost directly through the center of the pyramid. So you kind of make it look like, it's almost like a fox with really big ears. Then I take some rectangles. And with those rectangles, I kind of squash them, stretch them a bit, and you want the bottom of those rectangles to line up almost perfectly with that tip of the bottom pyramid shape. And those are going to make the basic M shape. Now there's one more step. I want to add some more pyramid shapes to go in the bottom of the rectangles to level off that M to make it look almost exactly like the Metatronix M. And so from there, you're going to color those red. And so I just used that nice, the third or fourth red down. It's that nice bright red that looks so good. I love that color. It's so rich. It looks really good on my TV. I hope it does on your guys' as well. Now, for the next step, we're going to do the Metatron's Cube. Metatron's Cube is a sacred geometry shape, which I have kind of behind all of my logo stuff. It's something that I really enjoy, and it's a pretty complex looking shape, but it's not that difficult to make. I'm just taking a bunch of circles, making them outlines, and then starting with one in the center, kind of going around the edge of that circle, adding circles in all directions, kind of top, bottom, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right type directions. Basically, just duplicate what you see here and you are in good shape. Now after this, I put them all behind the M. I start going into each layer and moving it to the very, very back practically. And when I do that, you just kind of want to keep everything in order. And I also start deleting the ones that are hidden mostly behind. So I deleted the center one, I deleted that bottom left one. And I kind of just do that, just keep moving them back and deleting the ones that aren't really seen. And most of that is going to be the bottom left, bottom right, and the middle, very center one, very center circle. And after that, I felt like the M was just a little bit too big, so I start resizing it. And basically what you want to do is just scale down those shapes just ever so slightly. I wind up doing it again because I still feel like it's just a little bit too big. It doesn't quite center over the circles in the background like I want it to. I want to duplicate as exact as possible the artwork I've already created, so just scale those down. Now next we're going to move on to doing some triangles, and I use the triangle wide shapes, the sharp ones, not the round edged ones, and I put the top point of that triangle in the center of that top circle, and then I duplicate it and make a smaller one, squash it down, make it a little thinner, so you have two smaller lines going towards the center of the triangle. And I kind of keep doing that with the left and right sides as well, so that you have all those lines connecting to all those points. And we're getting close to the end of this. Now I'm going to take a rectangle, squash it down into a line, and then connect the points of the star in the background with the line. And so I just duplicate that line all the way around, and I'm just connect the dots basically. It's pretty easy. You just want to make sure you get them nice and straight. You know, you don't want a crooked line that's not connecting to the points. And so just duplicate that around. It doesn't have to be perfectly exact, but as exact as you can get it is best. I had a little bit of trouble getting it centered exactly how I wanted it to. But that's basically it. Now I do a little resizing here. I still felt it was a bit big, but now we get that nice Metatron's Cube shape in the background really showing through. It looks almost exactly like the Metatronix M. Now, what I did here is I figured I have a few extra background layers that I could use, you know, so I thought, well, what am I going to do? Well, so I used the Flame Princess background idea where I use that blast shape, put it in the background. I did a lighter gray and a darker gray and thought that looks pretty darn good. I got rid of the big black background I put in the back that I had originally, but I re-add it. I do some kind of opacity tweaking, make things a little more dynamic. And once I did that, I thought, wow, that looks awesome. But something just wasn't quite right for me yet. So what I did is I actually changed all of the white background layer of the Metatronix cube and changed that to a lighter gray. So it still shows up over the background, but it's not quite so harsh. So once you get all that changed up, it looks absolutely perfect. I think I did a fantastic job, if I do say so myself. I really hope you guys enjoy this, and I see this one floating out there when I'm playing with you guys, playing with the subscribers, doing the open lobbies. And even if you aren't a part of the Meta Army officially or haven't played with me, it would be awesome to see someone flashing the Meta Army badge right there. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a like. Make sure you're sharing my emblems with your friends, because I'm sure they'd love to see them as well. If this is your first time joining me and you've not witnessed any of my emblems before, make sure you subscribe. I do these pretty regularly, and I listen to your guys' requests. And if you haven't seen any of my other emblems, make sure you click in the description. There's a link to the playlist so you can see everything else. Alright guys, it's been Metatronix, and I'll see you next time.